So I'm big on lean red meat. And so I get this feedback all the time about, oh, lean red meat and heart disease. No, dude, the studies, if you want to go back, when they went back and really dug through studies that have been done, it was the processed meat that caused the heart issues. Not the steak.
No,
not just your regular steak. Fucking have steak if you want steak. Unless you have some other issue that's a reason why you can't. Your body, as much as we're all the same, I always tell people we're also always different. But yeah, I eat a minimum of 1 lean red meat meal a day. Every day. Sometimes 2.
It's not the meat that's doing that. It's definitely
No,
it's a fat that's around the meat can do that as well. And you're spot on when you said process. It's the chemicals and the preservatives, and in grocery stores, steaks aren't that red. That's dye they put in to make them look better. I know that's how they do that because I get a lot of red meat.
Well, I get my meat either at House of Meats, and people are like, "Why am I such a master griller?" Because I'm like, really, I'm a master griller, tailgater too. But why was my food? Why was it always good? Because I bought good meat. That's why. So House of Meats was always a good choice. But my second choice, and it's really become a number 1 choice now, has been Costco, because Costco, they don't sell anything less than choice, and they do sell Prime, which you talked about buying Prime
even for home. Absolutely.
Yeah. They sell Prime. The best is right there. I don't have to worry about it. They don't have anything less than the choice.
And just to get it clear, I cannot go to Costco and buy steaks, even though they're Prime, that you're going to take home and cook, right? I can't buy them and put them in a restaurant. They're not an approved supplier.
Why wouldn't there? They grow their own they raise their own fucking chickens now and cook this, so they're allowed to do it. What's the difference if they're selling you a cooked chicken that's done for $5 for you to fucking take home for your family, than you getting the same meat that they're serving?
So you see my argument, why I get so frustrated.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
You can buy that, take that home, and cook it, and you're gonna be fine. If I buy that and take it to the restaurant and cook it to be served in the health department, that's a violation. They can suspend your food license for product from a non-approved supplier. These are just some little things. It's
but
little.
You know what? That gets into a whole different topic about because look who's made those rules. It's people that have no idea, that know nothing about running the businesses that they create regulations for.
Right.
They don't know anything about it.
Most of them have never stepped foot in a restaurant.
No, or let alone run a business, but want to tell other people what they need to do and how to make it work. So yeah, that is just absolutely insane.
It is.
But being healthy, that's what I try to do. That's my thing, and what I promote. And we talked about being a man.
Well, we really got in that one pretty good.
Yeah, we did. But I think what we were seeing too is one word that just drives me insane now is toxic masculinity, and I don't think there is such a thing as toxic masculinity. Somebody might be an asshole, okay, but there are women that can be assholes too. It's just because a person's an asshole. But just trying to just put men down. And there's just this thing about being a man now that just seems to be this negative connotation to it, and that we need to be put in our place, and how dare you say anything. Especially if you're a white man, you just need to shut the fuck up right now. Nobody wants to hear it.
I'm only smirking because you're saying the word man. And now you're not supposed to say man, you're not supposed to say one. I don't even know what the rest of mine is, kind of shake my head at it. But something else that I know, since you're into this health and fitness, I know it's at my doctor's office. I was reading, it was about testosterone. The constant fall of a person's male's testosterone has been steadily declining. And there used to be earmarks where the doctor would say, you need to be at this number. If you fall below it, you can have the option of therapy. But instead of getting therapy to bring it up, from what I'm being told now, is they just keep bringing this number down.
They do. It's been going on for quite some time. And it's actually not just the drug companies, but also the lab work, the blood, the companies that take your blood and do the lab work. because I have a client that I'm assisting right now that is going to his doctor, and I gave him some questions to ask his doctor because he's getting his latest blood work done. So I gave him some other questions to ask. But why is it that if you, Larry, get your blood work done by LabCorp, it's going to come back and say that Larry's testosterone levels at 350 and the low number is 270 and the high number is 800. And some doctors will prescribe it to you at that 350 and then some won't because, well, you're within the range. So some of those doctors are, but you could still experience the symptoms of low T being in that low range. But then I could go to a different doctor, have a totally different company do the blood work. And when that paperwork comes back, you know, when they send it back, it's going to say Troy's also at 350, but the range is 300 to 1,050. Well, what is it? Is one of the other, like, isn't there a standard?
There should be a standard.
Should there just be a standard? And you're right, what that high number is now was way over 1,000 years ago. Now you're lucky if it's at 1,000 that they've dropped that down into the 800 range, and you've dropped the low number from, you know, over 400 being in the low range to now, you know, 300 and even 270, 260. Because I see the lab work, I see the paperwork where it shows this graph and where
So what's
you
the
are.
purpose of keeping men's testosterone low?
Well, look, you're gonna face a whole lot of issues. You know, you're gonna not be as happy. You're gonna find it harder to lose weight. You're gonna find it harder to add muscle. Your sleep isn't gonna be as good. Your sex drive, okay? It's a whole bunch of things that your testosterone, when your testosterone levels drop, that it affects it. And I gotta say this, a big reason it would happen is age. You know, you have this decrease as you got older. But that doesn't explain why am I seeing more 25, 30, 35-year-olds now. The young, how are they having low T? And the only thing I can come back to, Larry, is again, you know, when you and I were kids, we maybe ate comfort foods. You know, it was big in our families then, you know, but there was real food and there was real nutrition. And I think our ground isn't what it was 50, 60, 70 years ago. You know, when you plant something, those plants are getting their nutrients from the ground.
Right.
Well, now we contaminate the ground. We put all kinds of chemicals. We never give the ground a break. You know, we mentioned the Bible once, right? Well, you know, I think it was mentioned in the Bible, like you rotate it every 7 years. You gave it a break or something like that. That kind of shit matters. Like that's what my friend Tino told me, that avocados, like sometimes their guacamole tastes really good and sometimes it doesn't. When they get the avocados from Mexico, they don't have to do shit to that stuff. Your guacamole tastes great. But when they get them from California, they have no taste. That's when you're adding the olive oil and all the other shit to it to try to add some flavor and taste to your avocados. But that's because of how they treat the fields. These fields never get a break. In Mexico, they rotate the fields. They give the fields a break. So you get the nutrients from that. Animals are eating the plants, and if there's no nutrients in the plants, where's the animal getting the, even if it's grass-fed?
Right.
Right? So,
right.
So even, it's really hard now that even if you try to eat healthy, we're still getting fucked. Because it's got to be something in the food. There's got to be something driving this that's causing men to have lower T. But why not treat it? Why is my thing, and because I'm such a big advocate for this, why is it such a big deal for men to be treated for hormone replacement therapy when it's not been an issue for women who've done it for decades? They have. They've done it for a long, long time.
It's more of a stigma or a stereotype.
But sure, because it's bad. You know, because Larry, if you get testosterone replacement therapy, you're cheating. Who the motherfucker am I cheating?
Yeah,
who?
What are you cheating with?
Right.
Your life?
Quality of life. And it literally, you know, that's why I love what I do, is when testosterone replacement therapy is done right, it's life-changing. When you have these shitty doctors who don't know what the fuck they're doing, which is a majority of them, especially PCPs, your personal care physicians, it's it's tragic almost, because these guys hear about people like me talking all the time about how life-changing it is, and they've been trying it for 9 months and they're struggling and they're not any better. Well, it's because how they're being treated, how they're being dosed, that it's just not being done right because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you have the doctors that don't want to go out maybe outside of these certain guidelines. Well, you got to question the guidelines then. What did they used to be? Why did they change? The questions you were asking. But some people don't even know what questions they